Welcome to Longevity's Welding channel. I'm Tim Roble, and this is part 3 of the Weldall 256 PI. What we'll cover on part 3 is the AC frequency and balance, and then we'll add the pulse features to it and show you exactly what it does to our piece of aluminum. On the Weldall 256 PI, your AC frequency and AC balance is located the third row down and over to the left. First we'll have the AC frequency, next will be the AC balance. On your AC frequency, you have a tunability from 20 to 250 Hertz. What does that mean? Well, with the higher numbers, you're going to increase your penetration and you're going to narrow the welding arc. Lower number, you're going to sit more on top with that wider, flatter bead. For your AC balance, we have 30 to 70% really as an operating range. We'll read 10 to 90% on the dial. But basically 70 is about as much as you're going to go. That's more cleaning, but it really builds a lot of heat in your tungsten. Even to the point where you might even need to go up to a larger size just to stabilize the tungsten to get that cleaning that you may need at times. At 50%, you're going to spend equal percent of the time on DCEN, that's electrodes negative, and DCEP, electrode positive. 30% you're going to see a wider bead and less penetration on that also, and then less cleaning. Now that we're set up and ready to weld, let's cover a few things. First thing you need to look at is what is the material that you're going to be welding. In this case, I'm using a 5 series aluminum. It's a 5052 H32 in hardness, and it's 63 thousandths in thickness. The rod that I've chosen to weld this together with is kind of the all-purpose aluminum rod. It's a 4043, and it welds a lot of things very, very well. Another alternate rod for this would be the 5356. You would use that rod if you're going straight to anodize. It's not that the 4043 won't anodize well, it just shows up. It gives a different, dissimilar metal in it. And gives you a streak through your anodize process. So if you're not anodizing, you don't really have to worry about that. Next thing I want to cover is cleanliness of the aluminum. There's two different ways to get your aluminum clean. First would be a chemical clean, and you would do that with a clean rag and some acetone or some isopropyl rubbing alcohol. And you would prep that and rub that down. Next we'll call that a mechanically clean. We'll be using a stainless steel brush, wire brush, and on that you want to take that and you want to put a label on it or mark it in a way that you're going to know that you use that on aluminum only. Next thing we'll cover is the tungsten that I'm going to be using for this project. It's 3/32 in size, and it's the 2% serrated tungsten. Another thing you want to keep in mind is your metal fitment. We really want to try to keep our gaps to a minimum. This is totally acceptable right here, but if I really wanted to fine tune it, I put it on the belt sander or the disc sander and just take it so it's all set up and really, really clean and nice. What you want to do sometimes is you want to just take things and kind of put it in a dry run. You want to take your torch angle and have it kick back about 10 to 15%. Then you want to make sure that you're about 90 degrees up off the piece of material. So first thing we're going to do is put a couple tacks on it, get some heat in the material. this next exercise, I have the AC balance now. It's set up about 65%, and then I turn the hertz way down. We're looking like about 40. So it's going to be just a lot different of a noise. It won't have that high frequency sound to it in the breakup. You're looking at moving about 1/8 of an inch each time to get one of these ripples, and you're looking at dipping about once a second. And here again, that all depends on your style of welding. Some people move very, very slow. Some people hammer down and move quick. You know, they might be dipping 5 or 6 times a second and just really moving through a project. Okay, now we're going to use the pulse. So on the pulse, I have the pulse setting, it's just about past half, so it's about 50 amps. And then on my foot pedal, I'm about in a straight up position. Pulse frequency, I'm at 250 hertz. Pulse width at 30%. AC frequency is 230 hertz. And my AC balance is 40%. See, we have a very nice, thin, well-penetrated bead. You could see the keyholing effect starting to open up as I was starting to dip in here, and really got good penetration. This concludes the series for the Weldall 256 PI. I saved the best for last. I really think that this machine really excels on the AC side. Being able to really tune in your weld characteristic with the addition of pulse and being able to focus that arc. Plus having the full range of being able to tune in your AC balance and AC frequency to get to the weld puddle that you want. What I hope you did get from it was not being afraid to turn a dial. You know, maybe something's stuck in the 12 o'clock position. Don't be afraid to turn the thing to 30 hertz or 250 hertz and see how that systematically affects your weld puddle. And then start dialing in different parameters, and that can probably help you out to give you a better idea of how the bead characteristic that you want to show up on your next project. So thank you for tuning in to Longevity's Welding Channel, and I'm Tim Rubble, and I'll catch you here next time.